Diddy's PR team has just allegedly leaked how he plans to eliminate Cassie after she testified against him at the trial. And I got to say, this is bad, even by Diddy's standards.
Yeah, so Cassie basically expresses that she is scared for her life, for her safety and her family's safety. The main takeaway that I got from it is that she thinks that if Diddy is promptly released, one of his first acts is going to be to send people after Cassie and the other victims that spoke about, their allegations against him. She says that for this reason, she's moved her family out of New York entirely. She also paints a picture of a very different man than in the support letters we saw from the defense. She says that he's unrepentant, he hasn't changed, and she doesn't believe anything the defense says about him changing. She also gave some reflections about the trial as a whole and how the jury failed to see her truth in acquitting him on trafficking charges and racketeering charges. We can get more into that, I'm sure.
This is something we had long been warned would happen to the victims who spoke out against Diddy. Jaguar Wright didn't hold back when she talked about how Diddy really feels about Cassie Ventura today. She was asked if Cassie, now living her life with a beautiful family, would finally be left alone. And Jaguar's answer basically said, don't count on it.
So Sonia's wondering your thoughts on how Diddy might feel about Cassie now having a beautiful family. Do you think she will finally be left in peace?
Well, I mean, I think it would be wise for people to go back and watch his acceptance speech on BET for his Lifetime Achievement Award. When Young Miami was there as his paramour, holding a banner that says, "Go Daddy."
He thanks her.
And he didn't thank her. He thanked Cassie
For holding it down.
for holding him down through the dark times after she had moved on and married and started a family.
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Is everyone forgetting how people were saying how Diddy was still approaching Cassie as if they were still in a relationship after she had left him while she was with Mr. Fine, her husband? You heard about that, right? Like he was still pretending, he was still including her in posts while she was a married woman. And people kept, even 50 Cent said something to say about it. Man, when's the time to let go? He said, I don't know when I feel like letting go. He bragged about still going after Cassie while she was newly married and had just had a baby. They're like, but they married, they have a baby. He's like, well, it's my girl. That's how he was still referring to her. And if we pay attention to what the documents in the lawsuit said, after she left him, he came and he assaulted her one more time. So I want you to think about all of that.
It has become obvious now that Diddy is obsessed with Cassie. His behavior toward Cassie isn't normal. It feels way deeper and honestly way darker. If Diddy couldn't let go of Cassie when she left him, what might he try to do now that she helped bring the truth to light? This is just how Diddy operates. Everybody sees it now. It makes sense that he'd try something against Cassie because deep down he's scared. He acts tough, but he can't actually fight anyone himself. And you know what he really hated Cassie for? He hated her for secretly being in love with Tupac.
Diddy was doing these freak-offs with Cassie. Why do you think that is?
Bruh, I come to find out that, and people gonna think this is weird, Cassie was a die-hard Tupac fan. Cassie loved her some Tupac. Now, she was too young, really, and I don't understand, but somebody close told me that she was a die-hard Tupac fan. And because I believe that Puff may have found that out or known that, he put that against that girl. And he treated her like that because, one, he thought he could get away with it, and two, she had love for Pac. I really believe that. And I know people gonna be like, yo, Gene, that's crazy. Yo, Kim Porter loved Pac too. Sarah Chapman loved Pac too. And then I don't understand why he didn't do Sarah like that. But Sarah was a very, very smart girl. She was highly intelligent. So I know he believed that he probably couldn't have got away with doing shit like that with Sarah. You understand? He couldn't do that to Sarah and get away with it. Rough her up a little bit, nah, but to beat her and do the freak offs like that, nah, I don't believe he could do Sarah like that. But you know, she dated Tupac before him. So I believe that she did that with Cassie, not only because he knew he could get away with it, and I think it has something to do with that he didn't like the fact that she liked Tupac.
If Diddy has ran around and threatened every other man that was interested in Cassie while he was busy abusing her, neglecting her, confusing her, why wouldn't we think that he put the moves on Ryan Leslie? I thought it was interesting when he did Drink Champs, because he just recently, not that long ago, did a Drink Champ interview with Nori and them over on the Peer Pressure podcast. I was shocked to see that. I didn't understand the relevance. I didn't understand why he would do anything for a network that was affiliated with Diddy. I didn't get it. Didn't make any sense to me. Not at all. But what I do know is this. Diddy has a history of bullying women into relationships with him and bullying men away from the women that he desires to possess. And I can speak about that very clearly, because that's exactly what he did with Kim Porter, and I'll be sure.
People are already on edge about what Diddy might try next. And a lot of folks believe Cassie could be in real danger. They say if he really wanted to, he could try to take her out the same way people think he did with Kim Porter. Kim was also rumored to be close to exposing him before she suddenly died from pneumonia.
Yeah, I heard that the paperclip party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father that is in the police report. That this is in the police report that Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim's, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said, but they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive. And that was broken by the paperclip party because they had a conversation with Kim's Porter father. That's crazy. Now, what was Kim's state? Why did, and in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case needs to be reopened, man. The case really needs to be reopened. Because if that girl was there and she said that Kim was all right, what happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
Just days before Diddy got hit with a major federal case, a man named Chris Todd dropped a short Amazon book called Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. He claimed the book came from Kim Porter herself, even though it's only about 60 pages. It's full of wild stories about Kim and Diddy's relationship. Some parts talk about how Kim found things she wasn't supposed to see, how Diddy allegedly mistreated her, and how things behind closed doors were way darker than anyone knew. A lot of people don't think the book is real, and several of Kim's close friends even said it's fake. But the timing of the book dropping, right when Diddy was arrested, made people look at the whole situation again. Kim's ex I'll be sure said Kim was working on something before she died. And after she passed, her computer and important files disappeared. He's been trying to get authorities to look into this for years.
It's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than a house key, a woman gonna keep her phone and she got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone? I would love for her son, who has all the rights, to go to and get all the stuff out the clouds. Her last text, who was she calling, who she spoke to, who called her, where was the last place her phone was at before it was destroyed and cut off. It would tell you that too.
You personally, what do you think happened to Kim Porter?
I'm not a medical, nor I was an investigator on that case. I don't believe that an individual with her, I want to say, financial status would lay up in the house and die of pneumonia without a doctor or some kind of medical person responsible. So I think it may have been some, I guess, foul play.
Kim and Diddy had a long, messy history. They met when Diddy was just an intern and she worked at the front desk. They had kids together, broke up, got back together, and broke up again. Kim said he would call her nonstop, act controlling, and wouldn't tell the truth about his affairs. Even after they separated, they tried to stay friends, at least on the surface, for the sake of their kids. But people who were close to them said the truth was totally different. Diddy's former bodyguard, Roger Bonds, said he personally saw Diddy be violent toward Kim multiple times. In another interview, Diddy's ex-security Gene Deal said Kim even had bruises and a broken nose at certain points. He also said Diddy kept guards around Kim's casket 24/7 so no one could check her body. Not only that, but her casket had been ordered months before her death. And even her funeral was a weird affair.
You stop, everything. Good job, man. Good job. Good job, dog. That's how you send somebody home.
And now everything is being dug up again because of the new 50C documentary, which shows footage of Diddy stressing out and arguing with his lawyers right before his arrest.
You're looking at never-before-seen video of Diddy 6 days before his arrest.
We're losing.
Extra with this sneak peek, GMA with even more footage of the disgraced music mogul debating with his legal team about strategy.
I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
It's all a part of the explosive new Netflix documentary out tomorrow.
Everything in life, you're going to have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
Robin Roberts sat down with director Alex Stapleton and executive producer and longtime Diddy critic Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. 50 Cent.
Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
The rapper, who sold more than 30 million albums worldwide, has been locked in a feud with Combs for years, taking online potshots at him after Diddy's arrest.
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
Today, Diddy's spokesperson tells the New York Times the footage is from a project Diddy was working on, and none of it was obtained from them. They say they are deeply concerned about the use of what it calls unauthorized material.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. He knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
TMZ reports Diddy spent Thanksgiving preparing, then serving turkey to fellow inmates at the Fort Dix prison, where he's serving his 50-month sentence.
His whole image is falling apart, and insiders say he feels cornered. When someone with power feels trapped, they start doing desperate things. And that's exactly why some people believe his victims are now at serious risk. In fact, Diddy seems so scared now of being exposed that his lawyers sent Netflix a cease and desist letter demanding they stop the release of Sean Combs' The Reckoning. His team told CNN the documentary is using footage that was stolen and never authorized for release, calling the whole thing a shameful hit. He's been recording himself since he was 19, planning to someday make his own documentary. The clip Netflix used was filmed just 6 days before his 2024 arrest, and his team says it was part of that personal project. "We will see it tonight," his spokesman told CNN. Neither Netflix nor Mr. Jackson were kind enough to offer us a screener. Netflix fired back through the series director, saying the footage was obtained legally and that they have every right to use it. She even said they reached out to Diddy's legal team for interviews multiple times, but never got a response.
Henry, what else can you tell us about it?
So there's a lot more of this never-before-seen footage, Tom, of Combs having really private conversations with his legal team, and you really get a sense of his mindset ahead of his criminal trial, which is really fascinating for me because he never did any sit-down interviews ahead of the trial. So you finally get to see what his strategy was and how worried he was. But clearly, perhaps he didn't think that he was going to go to prison because he's filming this documentary. You're also going to hear from Aubrey O'Day. She was in the girl band Danity Kane as part of making the band. She has an explosive allegation against Combs. And then there's quite a bit that focuses on the murders of Biggie and Tupac, and people from Combs's inner circle raising a lot of questions. People are going to also have a lot to say about that.
Diddy's attorneys warned Netflix again in writing, saying he has not hesitated to take legal action against media entities and won't hesitate now either. And this isn't new. Diddy once sued NBC Universal for $100 million over another documentary. His team is especially angry that Netflix teamed up with 50 Cent, calling him a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is on Instagram all day posting jokes and updates about the docu-series like he's enjoying every second of it. Just why exactly does 50 hate Diddy so much?
You know, you gotta look at it like this. 50 was writing a lot of shit that made a lot of money for Diddy. And he knew back then in the day, he didn't know what he know now, but Diddy was robbing him. You understand? Mm-hmm. You know, bringing those kids in and say, yo, here, write this verse for me, man, for this stuff like that, and giving them $5,000. You understand? Or $10,000, and you making $100,000 or $200,000 or maybe $2 million off of it, or $1 million, whatever the case may be. See, people call that good business. That's not good business. That's taking a person's talent, using it for your own self-indulgence, and not giving him what it's worth. When you could have been teaching these kids, you could have been helping these kids, and maybe these kids would have been helping you at the point you are right now. So, if that's the case, he have every right But 50 is doing this for the culture. You understand? If it's going to be told, he going to have it, and it's going to be told the right way.
Yeah, man. And 50, he go hard on Diddy, man. It's constant on his Instagram. It's kind of, it's pretty entertaining to see him be so passionate about his hate for Diddy.
Listen, how many of your enemies you love?
And while all this is happening, Diddy is currently serving a 4-year federal sentence and is also dealing with around 70 civil lawsuits. His lawyers say he's appealing the conviction, and they even contacted the Trump administration about a possible pardon. Inside the Netflix series, former Danny Kaine member Aubrey O'Day also speaks out about how she felt treated during her time working with Diddy. Diddy made it clear that I was the looker, she says in the documentary, explaining how she felt separated and handled differently from the rest of the group. She also said, "This is your boss at your work sending you that email." When describing messages she says she received from him, she talked about eventually being fired from the group and feeling like it happened because she didn't go along with what was expected of.
Are you afraid in some ways that he'll get out, that there'll be some sort of retribution?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even doing this, it's like, maybe I shouldn't say, maybe I should stop talking, shut up, but it's like, well, not talking hasn't changed anything either. He did it in different ways with all of us, picking and prodding and just a way to chip and knock away, but then praise you.
How are you dealing with that?
I just had to bite my tongue and let somebody disrespect me in ways that I never imagined, like totally disgusting, totally just grotesque, like about the different parts of my body. Sometimes you're so angry that it brings you to tears, and then also not being able to stand up for myself. Because I knew standing up for myself right now is probably going to bring on more severe, treatment.
I see myself standing in those dark, scary, predatory spaces and hearing somebody say some of the most degrading things to me.
How was it predatory?
Somebody constantly treating you like a piece of meat. Only valuing you for your sex appeal. And in some of the environments, it was even scary to be by yourself.
In the docuseries, Dee Woods claims she saw what she says were inappropriate communications from Diddy to Aubrey prior to their firings.
Was there anyone you could have talked to about it?
Absolutely not. Each other.
There was no one to tell?
Because what were they going to do? So it's like, how do we survive this?
And this becomes even more horrifying in its proper context because Gene Deal has previously revealed that Diddy was planning on doing something truly sinister to Aubrey and the rest of Danny Kaine.
But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danny Kaine. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them up and pip them out to my nigga." He said, "I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my nigga." And I was like, them somebody kids, and walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today. And we were just talking about that the other day. He done moved back to Indiana. I don't know why.
I'm gonna give you that one. He said he was gonna drug them all out and pimp them out.
The world is now finally hearing stories Diddy never wanted told. And every new reveal makes him look more desperate. And now with Netflix refusing to back down, the world is about to see everything. Whether Diddy wants it or